What's up, guys? Frugal VC got some big Algorand news today. Tiny Man launching its first vote. Some thoughts on Tiny staking. We're going to go through how it's gone for me so far. Kind of a little experiment. Gora Network with some big news and node incentives, some testing going on. So we're going to look at that. But the biggest news, there's a giant Algorand merger. We're going to talk about that at the end of the show. So keep watching, watch the whole video. And we're going to get onto that on today's Frugal VC. By the way, guys, if you like this content, you like what we're doing here, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Remember, you don't have to smash it. You can just press it gently. Works just fine that way too. And also, we have channel memberships. If you want to support the channel for only $1, you can get videos before everyone else. That's right, all the Algorand, all the Frugal VC videos, you'll get them before anyone else for only $1. Supports the channel. Plus, we have bigger memberships too. All that in the if you go to our homepage, you can find that. Besides that, we are brought to you by non-fungible domains. Guys, if you're sick of those complicated letters and numbers for your address and you want a nice simple address to remember, blah, blah, blah.algo, whatever you want, you can go to non-fungible domains and get that for yourself. Today, I've got one. It's frugalbc.algo. Works excellent on just about every Algorand platform. So go check that out in the link below, plus vaults and segments. Great stuff. But let's get into the show. Enough about my yapping. Let's take a look, and I want to look at Tiny Man first because the tiny token is starting to turn out a little bit different than I thought. So we've already had our first vote, first tiny farming proposal listed back on August 6th. 1.7 million tiny allocated for August. The voting started on Wednesday. And yeah, let's take a look at how that. So as you know, Tiny recently released their Tiny token, which is part of their governance. So you can see my video on that. I'll put a link up above, but you can get an airdrop of Tiny depending on basically how much you use the Tiny Man platform. So if you're like me, been using it a long time, you actually got a pretty good I got about 150 bucks worth of Tiny, and I locked it back in. So in fact, why don't we just go look at that? Oh, they don't even put a link in there. Yeah, so when you log into Tiny Man, you will see this Tiny airdrop message. You can go to it, go to the airdrop page. In fact, we'll just go there. Why not? So there's this fun little animation where they talk about the Tiny tokens and it's blah, 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 blah. The main thing is you can claim your tokens. Now you'll see that I already claimed mine. I can show you. Yeah, I ended up getting about 3,800 Tiny tokens, and the token's worth about 3.2 cents right now. So that's not necessarily a small amount of money, but I think it's a little less than it was when I started. We already claimed it, obviously, and then you can hit this button to lock your Tiny. I'll just show you what I got here, and it looks like I'm getting about 368 per week is what it looks like. So I actually have 675. So I think that's a couple weeks. Here's the total locked, total power, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so it was about 13 days ago, actually, that I locked it. So maybe it decreased a lot. Maybe this was the first one, and now the second one is quite a bit less. I know this APR number, and you always got to be skeptical of these early APR numbers because they will look really high, and then they just decrease as more and more people get involved. Same thing with the farming. So, don't get too excited about, oh my God, I'm going to get 3,000%. Yeah, it'll go down. It'll go down. But this is pretty cool. I figured this is about 20 bucks. This will be more like 10. So it's probably going to be about 10 bucks a week. If you go sell it off right away, of course, you can put it back in and compound it. But you're locked. I locked actually for, as you can see, I did the full 4 years because I thought, what the heck. There's quite a few things, extra locked amount. I didn't have any extra locked amount. Oh, so you're going to add more in and then update it? Do that on the locking page. I don't see any proposals. No canceled one. So I thought that there was one. Went through reward allocations. There's 1.7 million total. So that's why as more people get in, yeah, so we did miss the voting period, I guess. As more people get in, the amount of allocation is the same, so you're going to get less. So that's really important to look at. And so there's a forum. You can kind of look through some stuff. The main problem I always have, there was talk about what to do with unclaimed airdrop tokens. Should you burn or retain them? So you can dive into that, see what people said about that. The main problem I have with governance is I usually don't care enough to vote in a lot of these things, and a lot of times the votes that they actually put out are stuff I don't even care about, especially the Algorand governance. I just have not cared about the stuff that they put out. It's so low level and uninteresting and just sort of cumbersome. Haven't been a big fan of that. But enough about that. We actually have some good news from Gora. They were entered into a pretty prestigious Web3 program from a a company you would definitely recognize. Let's look at this. This is from Gore Network. We have been accepted into Google for Web3 Startups Cloud program. By joining this program, Gore Network gains exclusive access to a wealth of resources, including $200,000 in US dollar coin and Google Cloud credits, hands-on support from Google engineers, and priority review for grants from networks like Base and Solana. That is really interesting. This collaboration will enable us to deliver even better solutions to our users. You've seen nothing yet. So that's really, really cool. So Gore is like an Oracle network on the Algorand blockchain. It looks like this makes me think that they'll be maybe expanding out to Solana and Base. Is that how I read that? I'm not sure, but that's really cool. Good to see Gora doing good stuff. And you can stake Gora. I think you earn like 17%, something like that. I've had some Gora staked for a little while, so not a lot, just a little. And this one I think is really interesting. We've talked a lot about consensus incentives for running a node, which a lot of people are going to be eligible to do. Even if you're not running a node, there's going to be pools, other ways to participate. It sounds like actually the foundation is going to be working on some of those incentives or means of participating themselves. As John Allen Woods said something along those lines, that it made it sound like they're actually working on some ways beyond running nodes. So that is happening. You will be able to benefit from this. But this is from the Algorand Foundation. It says FNet for consensus incentives is here. Consensus incentivization is coming to Algorand. Boy, I really stumbled over that one. I got it, but you know, it actually hurts my mouth to enunciate that phrase. But to prepare apps, and users are invited to access FNet, a DevNet environment with incentives running for testing. So people are testing it out. It's supposed to come in October, by the way. That's the latest we've heard. All are invited to test, break, and test again. FNet will be reset at every 3 weeks, sometimes more frequently. A public Discord for discussion related to FNet will be set up soon on the Algorand server. And it says FNet was introduced at yesterday's Algorand Technical Council. This was August 9th, by the way, Friday. The group also discussed plans for moving forward on ARC-60, enabling arbitrary data signing, progress on the forthcoming P2P protocol upgrade, and more. Want to join the next session? Here's the way you can do it. You can check out the Algorand.co ecosystem work. Port Islam, what is that? I don't know what that is. Doesn't seem to have anything to do with what they're talking about, but oh, what is that? Islam? It looks like an Islamic coin. Okay, this has nothing to do with Algorand. This is like all the, I get like tons of stuff for all these random coins you've never heard of, and my comments will just be spammed with them. It's ridiculous. All right, last but not least, I promised you guys a giant merger in the Algorand space. Well, we got it. That's right. This is a big one, guys. This is a big one. That's right. Humble, DeFi, and PacFi are joining forces, merging to become a powerhouse in the Algorand DEX space. Let's look at this. HumbleFi and PacFi are merging to form a powerhouse in the Algorand DEX space. With their combined expertise, extensive product lines, and a shared vision, they're set to lead DeFi landscape beyond Algorand. Pac's branding and product line will continue while integrating key features from Humble, such as permissionless farms. So, I have to say I haven't really enjoyed either one of them. I find Pack to be really confusing in what you're earning and how. It just didn't really make a lot of sense to me. And Humble just like didn't have a very good selection of coins. Especially like I actually dropped them from my Algorand DeFi project because I had a really specific set of parameters for my ASAs, and none of the ASAs that they were offering came close to that. So they also said they were like the fastest, and I found it to be not fast. I found it to be actually pretty cumbersome. But let's read on. The new PacFi will be led by familiar faces with Andrew Kotulek as CEO and Nicholas Schellebarger as CTO. The merger is a win for the Algorand ecosystem, leveraging two amazing products and consolidating our resources. We are in a great position to bridge gaps in Algorand DeFi and show the world what we are made of. Yeah, we'll see. Because like I said, I just haven't really been super impressed with either one. So it's like two unimpressive DEXs joining together, which kind of meant that they couldn't make it on their own. But maybe the merger will be good. I don't know. We'll see. Humble users will be asked to migrate their LPs to Pack by October 14th, with UI changes rolling out gradually. PacFi will refresh its UX, user experience. I think they really meant UI, user interface, because UX is like the user experience. UI is your interface. So I think they mean UI here. And explore exciting new directions like multi-chain support and concentrated liquidity. Did we mention And did we see a mention of TGE? You can get the full update here, but yeah, I gotta say, it'll be interesting to see what they come up with. Like I said, I haven't been a big fan of either one. I haven't used either one in a really long time. I had some ETH stake to it, and yeah, it was just with PacFi, it was just kind of confusing. I didn't really understand. The layout just didn't make a lot of sense to me, so I'm glad they're updating the UI. I hope their interface gets a lift, because I think it needed it. Humblefy was like a pretty good looking site. I liked the way it looked. I just didn't like like I said, the coin selection wasn't great. I think Kamada did a lot more in terms of ease of use. So, oh yeah, I forgot about Kamada. I have some stuff staked there too. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting. It'll be interesting to see how that goes. What do you guys think about that merger? Did you like Pack? Did you like Humble? Did you use them? And what do you think about them merging? Let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, a short news update for you guys today. And I'm Frugal BC. Stay safe out there. Hit the like and subscribe if you like this kind of content, and don't have to smash it. Like I said, just press it gently. So don't forget, we have channel memberships and all that. So thanks so much, guys, and I'll see you in the future.